Oh, you visited
because
her.
in my house I have a little issue with my internet.
Oh, so you are taking all the classes on her house.
Yeah. Mhm.
Interesting. And what's the problem with your internet?
I think it's the the cap, the cap of the fiber cap, because the modem has a red button. Has
Has.
has a red button.
Oh, okay. The red light of death,
Aha.
like the Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that happens, brother. That actually happens sometimes.
Hmm.
Don't you worry. That's very good. Well, let's then. It's good that you are there, man. So you can work on your class. Let's get all the time possible to recover some time, some topics. And today we are going to see the next section. Uh, we're practicing phrases here. We were practicing phrases, and we were talking about the different types of like groups that makes us understand a video, right? So we are going to do now the same work, but we are going to do it with nouns. The same work that we were doing with verbs, but now we are going to group them by uh, by nouns, exactly that, by the way they are formed. A noun phrase includes all the quantifiers, possessives, articles, and descriptions that are collocated before the main noun. This means that all the different expressions that you can put together to describe one noun are included. Okay? According to the definition, let's call it like that, noun phrase. Look, according to the definition, noun phrases exist in different types. Four examples of noun phrases with premodifiers and noun phrases in general. Spotted dogs are my favorite. Okay? In this case, there is a word dogs. Okay? The word dogs is a noun, but the word spotted is giving a description for the dogs and giving more details about the dogs. Spotted, do you know what is a spot when you are talking about a dog?
A spot when you're talking about a what? Sorry?
A dog.
No.
Spot
Yeah. You're
is
talking
the
about.
area, no? The area that you use, no?
But what's the relation with dogs?
The house or the section.
Ah, okay. No, but that doesn't make sense because spotted dogs are my favorite. That doesn't make sense.
Spot, no, I don't know.
Okay, spotted dogs is talking about the type of fur that they have. This is fur,
Oh, okay.
okay? And when the fur of a dog has spots, you will see these little, yeah, these little spots. That's the name
Space.
of them.
Okay.
All right? The name is spot. So when you call spotted
Ah,
dogs, do you know what I
okay.
mean?
I get it, yes.
What type of spotted dog is the most famous spotted dog?
Dalmata?
In English,
I don't.
Dalmatian.
Oh, I didn't know that.
A
It was
Dalmatian.
Dalmatian?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's a spotted dog. Here's a beagle, a spotted beagle. I know it's not a beagle. What is that? I don't know what is that. And here's another what type of dog. You see? So here we have spotted dogs are my favorite. If you only say dogs, you will imagine any type of dog. But if you imagine a spotted dog, you will know the characteristics of this dog. So that's the reason the words that go before the principal noun, are included in the noun phrase. And in this particular example is the subject. Subject verb complement. The subject is
Spotted dogs.
correct. The full phrase is the subject. You see? A subject can be a noun, but a noun is not always a subject.
Okay.
Does
Yes.
it make sense? That's one. The article the is also included as a part of the noun phrase. So if you say the flying circus, the three words together, including the article, is a noun.
Okay.
And the last one, the other two are the same. Oh, this is tricky. The director's shot. Okay? I know, shot list is all together. Which one is the main noun?
Directors.
Directors?
No, I think it's the list, no?
Right, precisely. The main information is the list. And precisely, Michael, you fell in the trap. Precisely because director seems like a noun, but the apostrophe S is making it a possessive.
Okay.
Because it's a possessive, it is not a noun. It is describing the noun.
Okay.
All the orange words before a noun are called, grammatically, are called premodifiers. But I manage them as orange words. Orange words describing blue words. All the orange words that describe a blue word will be included in the noun phrase. That's another way to catch information when you read and when you listen. Now, post modifiers go after the connector. You can expand the idea a little bit more if you use connectors like of, what else? Connectors like on, clauses like connectors who, whom, which, that, etc. Or a full phrase like this, jumping up and down. This is like part of the concept together. Like in the video we saw the woman saying, um, and they joined in taking pictures, something like that. I was going there taking pictures, you know? Do you remember that? That was when we detected verbs.
Yes, and I remember that part.
Well, that's
But
precisely the thing.
well, in this case, we are using, well, this is not a verb, it's a noun, no? Jumping with ing.
Uh-huh.
Like a part of the how to say, of the subject in this phrase.
Correct. And all
Okay.
this part is going after the principal noun. If you see the previous examples,
Mm-hmm.
it's before.
Yes.
And in this second examples is after.
Okay.
You see? And always before the verb, you see? Because if I tell you, hey, person verb complement, what's the person in this case?
Could you repeat?
If you analyze this sentence and I ask you, person verb complement in this sentence,
Okay.
what's the person in this sentence?
The complete sentence, no?
The complete sentence, not
Yeah,
the
No,
the person jumping up and down is my cousin.
What's the person?
The person is my cousin, I think.
Person verb complement.
no, it's the person jumping up and down.
Exactly.
Okay,
Because
okay.
the person of the
Yes.
sentence.
Yes, you have the verb is and the complement my cousin. Yeah.
Aha, the complement is my cousin. Aha. So all this information is the subject, and because it's the subject, it is a noun phrase. The information goes together. The main noun is person only. But the full first section, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words, 6 words, they together are the noun phrase. So you need to detect the main noun. The main noun in this case is person. The main noun in the previous case is woman. But then after woman, you have connector of the house, and then after that, you have the verb was. So person verb complement. In this case, what is the person?
The woman of the house.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. The full first section, the woman of the house, that is the noun phrase. The noun phrase that is working as a subject. It becomes tricky when it's not the subject, when it's after the verb. You know? And you need to remember that you can have nouns after and before the verb. So when you are listening to an audio, be careful to check if the noun that you are trying to identify is going before the verb or after the verb. The position of the noun in relation to the verb is the most important part to identify information. I'm going to take a note on that. The position challenge for listening. The position of the noun phrase can go at the beginning, which is subject, or after a transitive verb. This transitive verb is object or receiver. For example, this one. The pitcher threw a blistering fastball. What did the pitcher throw?
Blistering fastball. A blistering fastball.
A blistering fastball. What's the main noun in this case?
The main noun.
Mm-hmm.
The pitcher.
Wrong. I said the main noun, not
the main. Oh yes, the
subject.
Oh yes.
If you tell me again, what did the pitcher throw?
Blistering fastball.
A blistering fastball. This is a noun phrase.
Yeah.
A noun phrase after the subject, not first. After
Yes.
the transitive verb. In the verb phrase, in the noun phrase, sorry, what is the main noun?
Fastball.
Exactly. This is a noun phrase, and the main noun is fastball. So when you listen, you can locate the last word, can help you identify the other 2 or 3 words before. And if you identify the verb, it will help you understand the full sentence.
Okay, yes.
You see, it's a way to divide the language when you are listening. Mhm. The picture in this case is another noun phrase, of course. It's at the beginning of the sentence. So a blistering fastball is a noun phrase, but as an object. And the picture is a noun phrase too, but as a subject.
Okay, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Divided by a transitive verb. Throw is a transitive verb. Mhm. What else? This case is a subject. Okay. The one that I want to cover, now that we cover subject and an object, we are going to cover descriptions versus extensions. Okay? A description is this: a word that is describing the main noun. But in this case, I want you to see all these three as extensions. Extensions of the main noun. Particularly with a special attention on the third one. Todd, who was green with envy, watched the winning team step onto the podium. Okay? You arrived in the perfect moment, Jime. Welcome. In the perfect
Hi,
moment.
teacher.
Hello.
I was on the traffic.
Don't
No.
worry, don't worry. I want you to see the video for the first half, because the first half we saw very important stuff. But in this moment, we are checking the most difficult stuff. So you arrived in the perfect moment. Also, Silvana, hello, girl. Are you on your way, or can you participate?
I'm on my way.
Don't worry, that's cool.
No, that's not true.
And I believed you for a second, Silvana, but you like all the girls.
Exactly.
All the women lying to us. So okay, don't worry. I'm gonna believe you, and let's continue. It says, who was green with envy? This sentence is very interesting because we are collocating commas to divide some information as a parenthesis, right? This happens a lot with this specific type of pronouns. The word who is a pronoun. And even if we are using commas as parentheses, it is working as an extension of the principal noun, who is Todd. Todd is a main noun in the sentence, but you can group it all together like this. Because if I repeat, what is the person verb complement of the sentence? What's the person?
Todd.
Todd. Incomplete. Todd, who was green with envy. All this together. The pronoun who is just an extension of Todd, but it's part of the subject. All of this is together. We are technically talking about relative clauses. Look at who and that. Look at that. That's the man. Who offered me the job? If you are going to group information, you're going to do this. That's the man who altogether. After that, you have a verb, offered, and then you have, because offer is a transitive verb, you will have a person after it, a blue word. You know? In the next example, my mother's older brother who lives in New York. All these together, you can group it when you are listening this into an audio. If you detect the connector who, the connector that, the connector which, be very, very careful to determine what is the principal verb so you can understand and divide the sentence correctly. Because if you tell me that lives is a principal verb, you are incorrect. The verb lives is part of the noun phrase, not the principal verb of the sentence. Do you understand or you have questions? Let me know in this case. Hello, hello. Ask questions. I don't know if you're
I don't understand.
you don't understand. What you don't
Me too.
understand? What you don't understand? Ask me a question. What part?
Okay. The word that can be used in informal English instead.
Don't read. Forget about reading. Let's go over here. Remember that we are grouping words, right?
Mhm.
And why are we grouping words?
Mm. Mateo. I
Anyone?
don't know.
Oh, okay. Why are we grouping words, guys? What did we do yesterday?
To identify, well, first, I think that it helps us to identify the parts of the sentence and also to detect the missing words or the mistakes in the sentence.
Yes, but more than that,
Or
the
not?
listening. Yes, those two are correct, but we are giving a listening approach.
It was because I remember that it helped us to know what we need to do, or maybe, well, I understand it. No, I understood that it helped us to find um, what we are missing. For example, if we need to a noun, a verb, or what word we are trying to listen.
Close. I think
Okay.
I haven't been very clear with the objective. Okay. Yes, you're right. It helps you detect and correct the mistakes. It helps us identify important information while listening. But most importantly, apart from all this and build sentences correctly, it helps us understand speech, so spoken speech, completely. Now you won't have problems understanding movies, understanding videos, understanding documentaries, understanding podcasts, or any person that talks to you without subtitles. If you have the or if you need the subtitles, it's because of vocabulary. You will need subtitles for vocabulary, but you won't need subtitles to understand portions of information. at least you will understand what portion of information you didn't catch, what part, what vocabulary you didn't understand. But dividing the language helps you catch all the information that you hear. Movies, TV shows, documentaries, podcasts. You will be able to listen to the radio in English. Just imagine that. Radio, no visual, just listening. Do you see the purpose now?
Yes, teacher. Thank you.
Well, that purpose, or with that objective, we are dividing these sentences. We are grouping portions of information so you know how to divide the portions correctly and you don't get confused when you are listening. Okay? So in this case, you find the verb which is offered, but all this section is considered a noun. Here we have another verb. That is a man. No. All this is a noun altogether. Why this verb offered is blue?
Is an adjective?
But an adjective is orange.
Because it's the part of the noun.
It's part of the noun. It's an extension.
Oh.
You see? It's an extension of the principal noun, which is the man. The man is the principal noun, the main noun. Every time you see the connector who or that, check if it's an extension, because that's going to help you connect the next word, the next part. Next example. My mother's older brother, who or that lives in New York, is coming to visit. In this case, the main verb is a verb be. All the rest of the previous information, even when we have commas, all of this is the noun. It's an extension of the noun phrase. Again, with connectors who and that. Are you understanding?
Yeah, but I have a question.
Sure, tell me.
Okay. Which is the order for the substantives?
Nouns.
No, for the nouns. But in this case, particularly in mother's older brother, why is this structure formed like this? In this order, I mean.
Okay. Which? Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go to the example here. Descriptions before the main noun. I'm going to take the examples that we saw in this website. You have this example, okay? The director's shortlist still hasn't been found. Okay, detect the main verb, the verb phrase.
What?
Detect the verb phrase.
Mm. In this, been found?
Been found, incomplete. The
Hasn't
verb
been
phrase,
hasn't
exactly,
been found?
including the auxiliary. That's correct.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now that you have the main verb, find the subject who hasn't been found.
The director's short list.
The director's short list. Altogether, this is the subject.
Uh-huh.
And if I tell you what is the principal noun in this specific subject, you will say
List?
list. That's correct. Look at all the words that are describing the list. The list is a short list because this is the description of the list. Directors is describing whose list it is. Possessive. Apostrophe S.
Uh-huh.
And article the is describing the list because it's a specific list.
Uh-huh.
All together, this sentence all together, or this phrase, is a noun phrase.
Okay.
All together.
Thank you.
No, wait, I haven't finished. Because
Sorry.
your question, yes, no, wait. Because you asked a question about, you asked the questions about why this is structured, no?
Yes, in this order.
Why in this
But
order?
now I got it.
Why?
Eh?
What did you get?
The sentence.
No, but why that is in
Why?
that order?
Why? Because the first is the possessive, and when you have a possessive, you need an article, and you are describing the list of someone else.
Totally correct. Exactly. So in this case, you are describing the brother, the older brother of someone else.
Okay.
You see? All together.
And which is correct to say next of this part? Who or the or both?
Both.
Okay.
There's no difference in that second case. Does it make sense, people?
Yeah.
Yes, teacher.
Cool. So noun phrases are massive, right? It's very easy to get confused with noun phrases because sometimes we include or they include verbs. In this case, lives is not a verb, it's part of the noun. The principal verb is the verb to be. Ah, he's coming together. This is the verb. Ah, no, he's coming to visit all together. Does it make sense? The verb phrase. Person, verb, complement. Easy as that. What about the rest, guys? This is too complicated. Make questions.
No question, teachers.
No question.
Sure. In the second example, what's the principal noun?
Brother?
Very good. Let's give it a little note. Mhm. In the first example, what's the main noun?
The man.
Mhm. The man. And all the rest is a noun phrase. Including the article, including the rest. There we go. That's the one. So the importance of all of this, and the reason all this important is because we are going to use it when we are listening. When we are listening a video, you can group all that information and you can understand. Probably I am missing a verb. Probably I am missing a complement. Probably I am missing a word, but I know I can locate myself in the noun, in the phrases, because I know and I identified first the verb. When I identify the verb, now I can divide and I can understand what type of sentence I'm trying to identify. That's why, as Isaac said, it's super important to dominate your structures. Your structures are the principal thing we need to dominate. Let's try to identify now the same idea, but in the next example. Okay, so we have there that house. That's the house in which they lived all their lives. Let's try to give an analysis to this. Find the subject. No, find the verb. Find the verb, Jesse.
Lips.
Lives, but lives doesn't exist.
Lives. Lives. Sorry.
Yeah,
Lives.
and lives is not a verb.
No.
Because you have their lives.
Okay. The verb. They lived. Sorry.
This is not lived. This is lived. Okay, you need to check the difference between these three.
Yes.
Live and life. But this is blue. This is blue. No, sorry, this is blue and this is green, which means this is a verb and this is a noun. How do you know this is a noun? Well, because you can use orange words before. You can say, my life, your life. Our Mexican life. You see?
Okay.
And live, pronunciation live,
Live.
which actually I'm gonna take the description. So this is live. And this says life. Right? The interesting part is that this has a past. This is a regular verb. And a regular verb ends in
ED.
ed. So the past lived with the same pronunciation. You see? Lived. You see? Life, because it's countable, has a plural. What is a plural for life? With the same pronunciation.
Life.
Exactly. The interesting part is that when you make it plural, the F disappears and you put it as a V. That's the reason. And it becomes this. So the best way to identify the difference is by checking if you are talking about plural or you're talking about past. If you're talking about past, this is a verb. And if you're talking about plural, this is a noun. And the pronunciation is different.
Can you repeat the last? If no, it's plural, and if no, it's verb.
Sure. If it's plural, you are talking about a noun.
Yes.
If it's past, you are talking about the verb.
Okay.
That's the difference.
But for example, in he, she, with third person.
Well, you need to identify the
The
position, the position of the word, because if you say person verb complement, she
Yes.
lives the life I would like to live. If you have this, what color is this?
Verb.
Verb. Then the pronunciation is lives, because the verb is with E. This one over here is the life. Do you see what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Good. So this should be blue. With pronunciation?
Life.
Lives,
Okay. Yes.
Now you get it.
Yes. Thank you.
Good. Taking that into consideration, if you want to screenshot this one, that one is really useful. I'm going to make a clip about this because many people have this question. So now, read this, you see, one more time.
Yes. That's the house in which that they live. Sorry. That's the house in which that.
But how do you read these?
I don't remember.
Well, this symbol is giving you options.
Yes.
You can say which
Or that.
or that. Exactly.
Okay.
Let's read it again.
That's the house in which they lived. Lived.
What's the
All
pronunciation
their
again?
lived.
Okay, that sounds good.
Lived all their lives.
They're perfect. In which they lived all their lives. What's the main verb in this sentence?
The main verb or no
The main verb.
verb. Lived.
Lived. That is incorrect. Look at the first example. Look at the first example.
Yes, is.
Exactly. Mhm.
That is, yes.
Similar to the first example, the word is the main verb. Yes, it's only one word, but it's considered a verb phrase anyway. You see? Well, the same issue is bringing in this case. The verb phrase is a verb is. And all the noun goes after the verb is. What is it, Jesse?
The house in which they lived all their lives.
Exactly. All the rest of the complement is a noun phrase. All of that. The main noun is
Yeah, the house, right?
correct. It's actually only house because there is not a noun. We are taking. Imagine the language is a bowl of Oaxaca cheese, and we are separating. You know, we are committing surgery to the language.
Okay.
Mhm. Questions?
Teacher, the main noun is the verb, right? Is the verb, is the subject, sorry.
Okay. The main noun is the subject. Okay, we normally confuse subject with verb. That is always a common mistake because we don't identify grammar terminology versus parts of the sentence. Okay, so what we have to do is I am trying to eliminate all the grammar terminology as much as I can. You know, I think these specific grammar terminologies are very necessary. So I'm using very few important concepts, phrases, main nouns, etc. But one of the confusions, very common confusions, comes with subject versus noun. By rule, a subject can be a noun. For example, Fernando is a teacher. What's the subject?
Fernando.
Fernando. And Fernando is a name, which grammatically names are nouns.
No.
But what happens if I tell you he is a teacher? What's the subject?
He.
He. Is he a noun?
I am not sure.
Let me help you. It's not. He is in the family of pronouns.
Okay, yes.
He, she, it, we, they. and in the family of pronouns, they have a correlation because they substitute the noun. They replace the noun. This particular example helps you understand that a subject can be a noun, but not always. So subject is not equals to noun. It's not the same. Yeah. A subject can be a noun, but a noun is not always a subject.
Okay.
They can count on that. A noun, you can find a noun in any part of the sentence. It can be at the beginning, it can be at the after the verb. And that's precisely, if you separate those concepts, you're gonna succeed.
Okay.
Good job. Grouping words in relative clauses. Questions in this moment?
Not yet.
No, teacher.
Awesome. The hat that was found at the crime scene. We have another one here. Make the same analysis. Same analysis to this example. Isaac.
The hat that was found at the crime scene was a major clue. Okay. The hat that was found at the crime scene. I think that the verb. The hat that was found. Okay. The verb is the second was. The noun phrase is the hat that was found at the crime scene.
Good. That's a phrase, right? The noun phrase.
The noun phrase, yes.
Okay.
And the main noun is the hat.
And the main noun is the hat. Now you understood what we are talking about. Easy peasy. Good job. Good job. What about the rest? Was it easy or difficult?
I was going to say the same as Isaac.
Awesome. So then you understood it too. When you are...
We,
sorry.
okay, should I... No. So the first step in this exercise is to recognize where is the verb.
Yes.
And then you can... Okay, thank you. Okay,
And
I got it.
actually, we forgot something. The second part is a noun too. A major clue. You see? But the second, how do you call a noun after a verb?
Complement?
Complement? Nope. That's a part of the sentence, not a part of grammatical concept. Before the verb, it's called or the principal information in the sentence, the first part of the sentence is
the subject.
The subject, because it is before the verb. Subject. After the verb, it is called an object. but it is still is a noun. It doesn't matter. This is a grammatical term. I am trying to not give you that information, but it will be probably important if we deal with transitive verbs. You know, if we have a transitive verb, like for example, throw, bring, take, send, receive, all of these need a second noun. And when you are listening, it will be necessary to identify the type of verb you have so you know what is the next information. If it's necessary, the complement, or you need a secondary verb, a secondary noun, sorry. You know, the type of the verb also helps you identify the next information. And if you group it in colors in your mind, it's going to be super easy to identify the next portion. That's the reason we started with verbs. Yesterday we started with verbs because it was necessary to identify first the verb, as Jimena says. After you identify the verb, now we are going to identify sequences that go like this. Let me show you the next objective. The next objective is going to be identifying sequences that go noun phrase, verb phrase, and a possible second noun phrase. The second one is an object. The first one is a subject. Sounds difficult? Yes. It is? Yes. But you are awesome, so I know that you can do it. Let's try to find one, okay?
Hey, this is me on a stroll a few days ago. During this walk, I noticed something, so I started taking pictures of it. Eventually, I got my coworkers to join in. Mac took this picture, and Agnes took this one. What we all noticed was this font. If you've somehow managed to never see...
Let's analyze that sentence. This needs to be green now. Color green. Did you hear that? What we all noticed was this font. Do you understand why I am dividing the sentence like this? Are you?
Yeah, just sure.
Yes?
Yes.
Why?
No, well, I have a question.
Mhm.
What we all noticed was this font. So notice is part of the subject and not a verb.
Mhm.
But we all notice. Okay, yes. Yes, I get it.
Why? Because similar to the previous example, offered. In the first example, offered is not an independent verb. It's an extension of the man because we have the connector
Okay.
that and who.
Yes.
The same case happens here.
Yes, I get it.
Right? Hashtag English, no?
Yes.
It happens. Another one. In the previous examples, we saw lives. Lives is not the principal verb. The principal verb is coming. But lives is helping or is extending. Is extended information of the brother. The brother who lives in New York. And the pronouns, all the pronouns that are included in this specific extension or extenders, I call them extenders after today, to be honest, are that, who, which, what, where, and only those, because no, forget about where and when, because they are considered connectors. It's easier to call them connectors. But extenders include that, who, which, and what. Here's an extender. Here's an extender. Etc. Right? In this case, what is an extender? Oh no, not this. Here. What is an extender? All of this is a noun. I want to help you with another one.
Design while I move.
You're left with this typeface. Strip away the candy wrappers, movie posters, album covers, and corner store signs, and you're left with this typeface. It's called Cooper Black, and the story of how it became so popular has everything to do with its versatility.
There's another one.
Black, and the corner story of how it became so popular has everything to do with its versatility. Cooper Black, and the story of how it became so popular has everything to do with its versatility.
Here's another one.
Because these...
And the story of how it became so popular
letters have became so popular has everything to do with its versatility.
has everything to do with its versatility. Let's listen again.
Everything to do with its versatility. It's called Cooper Black, and the story of how it became so popular has everything to do with its versatility.
Did you hear it?
Yes.
Did you understand why they are nouns? Or not yet? Anyone? Comments? Are you understanding? Are you more confused? Hello. Cacao. Mm-hmm. Everybody's sleeping.
Yes.
Why are we sleeping?
No, I was trying to understand the sentence because I was talking my phone. And the story of it became so has everything to do with its personality. That I think that this is a difficult one because there are a lot of verbs,
Okay.
but I think that they have like a different purpose.
Meaning.
Yes. No, no, I think that the meaning, no. I think that this and the important part is to know this is the purpose of each one, no?
The purpose of
Of the verbs.
yes, because there's so many verbs. In the first
Yes.
section, there's a
Yeah.
verb, and in the second section, there's another verb.
Yes. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So, but the purpose of each one is different, no?
Exactly. This is part of the first section of the subject, and this is part of the object of the second noun phrase.
Yes.
Precisely. You are catching the idea. But it's so helpful to identify the principal verb because then you can identify that the rest are not verbs of the sentence.
Yes,
You
but
see?
that's the difficult part.
That's a challenge, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You need to identify which one is the main verb because they are the easiest part to understand.
Yes.
So you will hear became, you will hear has, and you will hear do. Which one is the main one? That's how you repeat. The second repetition, you identify the main one. And the third repetition, you catch the rest of the information.
Okay.
That's tomorrow's mission. It's
Teacher,
becoming useful. Yes,
I understood that the noun phrase and the verb, it's like Isaac said, it's for identify the verb because I understood that the noun phrase object is the like consequence. I am not sure.
That you understood that what? Can you repeat?
I am not sure how to explain. Yes, the verb phrase is the principal verb, like we checked in the other exercise.
Correct.
It's the same, only that exact say it's difficult.
Because here we have the word became. No, in this case became, and in the second example we have the verb do. But these two are not
the
verb of the sentence.
Yes,
exactly.
it has.
The main one is has.
Okay.
And that helps you identify and divide the sentences thinking in English. If you notice, you have been analyzing portions of information and not analyzing it in Spanish.
Yes.
That's the mission, to avoid thinking in Spanish and dividing the sentences.
It's difficult.
I know, yes, it is hard, but it requires practice. And this is what all the rest of the month, this month and next month, we are going to do. We are going to be practicing and triggering and rehearsing all that, because then we are going to include purple phrases, and then yellow phrases, and then orange phrases. And we are going to analyze the language as it is. But we can start with these two. That's the easy section.
Okay.
Let's do that, my people. We are going to leave right now. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Have a very good night. See you
Thank you,
later, my
teacher.
guys.
See you.
Thank you.
You too. Have a good night.
Bye.
See you. Bye, 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 bye. See you later.